Hey everyone, Kristian here from Trispecific, and today I just want to give you a quick rundown, just a quick little tip about something that you're likely doing that is undermining your potential when it comes to performance, because I see this all the time in athlete feedback or hear it, and what happens is we're all busy, right? We're all trying to jam, a life that's pretty packed to the rafters, and what happens is we go, oh, now I only have X amount of time to get this training session done. So what people typically do, what athletes do, what I see in the feedback is they're just gonna trim the warm up and trim the cool down and make sure they get the main set in, because they think that is what is absolutely going to take them to where they want to go, right? And yes, the main sets are important. They're absolutely important depending on what we're training on the day. They're always important, but so is the warm up. Actually, the warm up is super important because it gets your systems online ready for the main set. Now, if you do it before you're ready, you are going to limit what you can actually get out of the main set. So making sure you warm up properly is going to get all the enzymes and everything, all those enzymatic processes firing. It's going to get the blood flow, oxygen to the tissue. Everything that you need is going to happen in that nice and easy warm up. And as we get closer to the end, we can put in some little specific preparation in the warm up towards the end before we get into the main set. So what I would rather see is that you keep the warm up as it is and trim the main set, right? Because we're still training the system of the day, even if we don't get the full set in, right? But we undermine our ability, our performance ability, if we don't get in the warm-up, right? So I want to make that crystal clear that the warm-up is so important and it takes time. And another thing, especially for you guys and girls, which I really recommend, those that are trying to get more metabolically efficient, more fat burning, right? I can tell you, if you limit that warm-up, you got no chance of fat burning. You're going straight into those glycogen stores and hammering those from the get-go, right? So to get your adaptation better and to burn more fat, you need to allow the body to do that in the first place, and that happens in the warm-up. So what I want to see is, if you are time poor and something's got to give on that day, get the warm-up done, trim the main set, trim the cool down if you have to. We want to have the cool down to flush the body. But if there's one or the other that has to go, right, keep the warm-up, trim the main set, trim the cool down, make sure you still continue to cool down, and know that your next subsequent session, you may need a little bit longer warm-up to flush out those unmetabolized waste products that you didn't get out from the previous session. So that's your tip of the day. This is Kristian from Trispecific. Don't neglect the warm-up. It's super important.